Yesterday, electors met in all 50 states. So as of this morning, our country has officially a president-elect and a vice president-elect. Many millions of us had hoped the presidential election would yield a different result. But our system of government has processes to determine who will be sworn in on January the 20th. The Electoral College has spoken.
Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. Welcome to day 1426. The FDA confirmed that Moderna's 2-dose COVID-19 vaccine was highly effective and safe for adults, setting it up for an emergency authorization later this week, making it the country's second authorized COVID-19 shot. The FDA says the vaccine is 94.5% effective at preventing COVID-19 cases at least 14 days after vaccination, and that there were no significant safety concerns. An FDA document also shows that asymptomatic infection was reduced by 63% after the first shot. Between the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines, the U.S. has acquired 300 million doses in the first quarter of 2021, enough vaccines for 150 million people. The FDA also authorized the first home test for COVID-19 that does not require a prescription. The test costs about $30 and will be available by January. The antigen test takes about 5 minutes to collect the sample and then produces results within 15 minutes. Moving on, Senator Mitch McConnell acknowledged Joe Biden as president-elect for the first time, 6 weeks after the November election. McConnell also urged Senate Republicans not to join House members in contesting the state electoral results during the January 6th joint session.
Many millions of us had hoped the presidential election would yield a different result. But our system of government has processes to determine who will be sworn in on January the 20th.
During his speech on the Senate floor, McConnell said,
"The Electoral College has spoken." So today I want to congratulate President-elect Joe Biden. The President-elect is no stranger to the Senate. He's devoted himself to public service for many years. I also want to congratulate the Vice President-elect, our colleague from California, Senator Harris. Beyond our differences, all Americans can take pride that our nation has a female Vice President-elect for the very first time.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer later took to the floor saying, quote, "For the sake of the country, President Trump should take his cue from Leader McConnell that it's time to end his term with a modicum of grace and dignity," end quote, adding enough is enough. The White House, however, refused to follow Mitch McConnell in acknowledging Trump's election defeat. When asked about the Electoral College vote, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany said the president is still involved in ongoing litigation related to the election. Yesterday's vote is one step in the constitutional process, so I will leave that to him and refer you to the campaign for more on that litigation. When asked whether Trump plans to invite Biden to the White House, McEnany declined to say. Meanwhile, Biden plans to nominate Pete Buttigieg to be his Secretary of Transportation. Buttigieg would be the first openly gay cabinet secretary should his nomination make its way through the Senate. The transportation secretary is expected to play a central role in Biden's push for a bipartisan infrastructure package. Trump, meanwhile, is diverting 75% of most donations for the Georgia Senate runoff elections to his new Save America Political Action Committee, which he plans to use to fund his future political activities. The other 25% is going to the Republican National Committee. In New York, a judge rejected Trump's claim of attorney-client privilege to shield documents from the New York Attorney General's office. The Trump Organization has until Friday to turn over documents related to its Seven Springs estate and its $21.1 million tax break. New York Attorney General Letitia James is investigating whether the Trump Organization improperly inflated the value of Seven Springs as part of the conservation easement on the property. And finally, Russian hackers breached at least 5 federal agencies as part of a months-long global espionage campaign. Hackers compromised the Treasury and Commerce departments, as well as the State Department, the Department of Homeland Security, the National Institutes of Health, and parts of the Pentagon. Roughly 18,000 private and government users downloaded a software update from SolarWinds, a widely used network management software that was manipulated by Russian hackers. Among those who use SolarWinds software include the CDC, the State Department, the Justice Department, parts of the Pentagon, and numerous utility companies. And finally, NPR says 71% of Americans say they would get a COVID-19 vaccine, up from 63% in August. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditas.